Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. This is episode 100. Wow, 100. Brady, never thought I'd hear myself say that, if I'm being honest.
Well, I was going to say, this all started at your, kitchen table, now almost 2 years ago?
It did. Who was there? Can anybody remember watching it? About two people.
I watched it. You're in your old headset. You had your Venetian blinds behind you. The lighting was terrible.
Hang
great.
on.
Should we show a clip?
Yeah, let's
entertain our viewers.
Let's see if we can find it. Wait a minute. Let's see. Okay, I think I found it.
Let's see how far we've come.
Well, we shall see. Right. So if I do this, and then that. Yeah.
The suspense.
Good
to see some things don't change.
Can you hear the music? Tell us if you can't hear the music.
Kia ora. Welcome, everybody. My name's Matt Drake, and you're tuned into Sweet Chain Live.
This guy.
This is the first episode in a series of episodes live on Facebook that's going to give you a bit of news and features on disc golf in New Zealand. So I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be doing some covering lots of things over the next, I don't know how long it lasts, 10, 15 minutes maybe. Including going through some of the hot scores from around the country.
Yes.
We've got a little bit of international news. We're going to be doing a lost and found. Also going to preview events. We're going to be doing a Q&A. So if you've got any questions that are burning whilst we're doing this, then drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them either at the end or after the stream.
Can you hear the sound? Anybody?
Okay,
yeah.
so let's get started then.
You can hear it, can everybody else?
Cover is hot rounds. We're going to start down in the south. Big shout out to the guys in Invercargill.
On a scale of 1 to 100
Vincent
for our viewers out
and Andrew
there,
Fleming.
how sexy is that headset?
Oh, do you want to see it again, just so you can make the
Yeah, leave that there for a second. How sexy is that headset? 1 to 100. What do we think? Does he break the 50 mark? Do I hear 60?
A bit closer to about sort of 10, I think.
10, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you a 45, I think. Oh, Peregrine, we got a 69. Thank you, Peregrine.
Of course we do. Yeah. Now look, I have to say I never thought that at this point it would get to
Does that have a date? What's the date on it?
The date on this video was just says 1 year ago, 27th of January 2021. So when was that? That's in a week's time, but 2 years ago.
2 years.
Yeah. So that's two years going strong. I never thought it would go that long. Which calls still that from? Yeah, look, I used to work in. That's exactly right. I was working in a contact center, and that was my work headset that I was borrowing for the purposes of the podcast before I got all the kit, all the microphone, and all the rest of it. So it was a little bit kind of put together in. Not last minute, but it was kind of put together in a bit of a I don't know what you might call it, your backyard shed kind of thing. It's not the professional outfit that it is today, he says. But anyway, look, look, we got a great show for you today. We're going to go through some hot scores to begin with. Then we've got a breakdown of the Discmania 1 in 4, I should say now. Stats. We're going to go through some the data analytics team, which didn't exist 2 years ago. But the data analytics team have been hard at work pulling together some figures on the competitive disc golf play of the 4 guys who are left. We'll also be doing a quick sweep of their social media, because that's a thing, and it's important to be out there presenting yourself as not only you as the player on the course doing the talking, but presenting yourself as a brand and representing the brands that you represent in a way that that is engaging. So we're going to be doing a bit of that. Rotorua, we've got a little bit. We'll do a little bit of a preview. It's coming up this weekend on who we think is going to do well there. Then we've got some upcoming rankings. Upcoming events and rankings. We'll also be sharing with you something that we're going to be talking a little bit more about next week, but I can give you a little bit of a taster for it a little bit later on. So listen for that. And also we'll be talking a little bit about Wellington Centurion. Now, the other thing is we're going to be doing a giveaway today. We might even do two, depending on how we get on. But if you'd like to get yourself, one of these, which is a Captain's Raptor, a Paul Ulibarri first run Captain's Raptor. It's 173.74, and it's kind of, I don't know, greeny, but turns purple if you.
I was gonna say it's that like chameleon color, isn't it?
That's right. So it's purpley green, but it's lovely. Obviously brand new. But if you want to get your hands on one of these, then what you need to do is you need to put in the comments below who, during the time that we've been doing this, we've had like loads and loads of guests on the show, from people who have started playing sort of a week ago to people who aren't really into disc golf but do other things, and disc golf is kind of a something they've recently picked up, right up to the pros. Pop down in the comments below who's been your favorite guest on the show, and if you put a comment in, you get yourself in the draw, and we'll do a spin the wheel at the end to win a Captain's Raptor. So yeah, let us know who's your favorite guest that we've ever had on the 100 shows that we've had here. Many of them, many of you, you can vote for yourself. If you are watching this and you've been a guest on the show, then you can indeed vote for yourself if that's what you'd like to do. Right. Okay. Hot scores. Brady, kick us off down south.
Down south, as ever, let's go to Invercargill, hosting this year's national championship in Queen's Park. Quinn shoots a -13 to start us off with the hot round of the week. And lo and behold, it is still the Ethan Stout show at the Golf Club Champ course. Congrats on your recent win. He shoots 3 down on the Nationals course, getting ready for the big ticket event. Up in Dunedin, Chingford Park, Keith Stevens shoots 8 under par at Chingford, so well done to Keith. And Sweet Chain's own Francis Orange has the hot round at Brockville, -10. And he said he left some out there.
Oh, he can only leave one out there, surely.
Apparently, one is enough. He's a hungry young gun. I can't wait to see what he does on tour. Let's go to the Wakatipu Basin. Let's go to Queenstown, the Gardens. Campbell Brown, 10 under par, hot round, nice shooting. Let's go to the beach. Caleb Brash with the +4 for the hot round this week. Over the Crown Range, Wanaka, Lismore Park, Cooper Solis gets it done, 8 under par for the hot round. And Cooper will lock out Wanaka. So Cooper Solis and Flim Flan with a 4 under par at Ely Point to finish out Wanaka. Up to the Garden City, hosting the soon-to-be Garden City Open. Callie Thompson shoots 15 under par at Jelly. Nice shooting, Callie. At Ascot, Jeremy Brockenshire back on the leaderboard with a 9 under par. And Warren Park sees James Candair up the top with an 8 under par. Lastly, wanted to bring back Taylor River Reserve, finally an 18-hole course. Congratulations to Blenheim Disc Golf. And Richard Sluter and Marty Coots shoot a +2 on the new 18 holes. What's the North doing, Matt? What do you got for us?
Up in the north, Keith Furlow hits the hot round at Berrenport with a 6 under par. Ethan Stewart shooting well at Hikoikoi with 4 down. And Ben Morrison at yesterday's Summer League hit the hottest round of the week with 4 down at Harcourt Park. It was a 4-way tie at Linklater as Ephraim Russell, Joel Simpson, Mike Riley, and Arthur Horn couldn't decide who was going to take out the hot round, so they all did with a 5 under par. And at Maryland's, Jason Mallion and Conor McKinstry had the same trouble in deciding who was best with a 3 under par. At Spa Park, we had Callum Petman hit 14 under, and up at McLaren's, Dane Sales hits a very competitive 5 under par. At Henderson, Byron Salisbury hits 13 down on the red course there. So well done to everybody in the hot scores. How about that 10 under, eh?
One eagle. He said the other eagles out there.
Yeah, I can absolutely believe that. And obviously we speak to Francis relatively often because he's part of Team Sweet Change. So he shares with us his scorecards on a regular basis, and you know the ones he puts on social media are the tip of the iceberg when it comes to some of the stuff he's been doing. So very well done to him. Right, so we've had some people talk to us about who their favourite guests were. Scott Stokely's come up a couple of times. He's been on a couple of times. Let's not forget. That was good. It's great to talk to Scott. So much knowledge, experience, and just experience and like tales to tell when we were talking to him. So that was fantastic. Who else have we got? Bob Gentle, super interesting. He is super interesting. Talking about lots of things to talk about. And Paige Pierce, obviously, who we had on at the beginning of about this time last year as well. Either of the Stouts or Casey. Yes, Casey Brown's come up a couple of times. Remember that episode, Brady? That was a fun episode having Casey on the show. She was a great talker, and it was fantastic to see how passionate she was about what she did, and that really shone through. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if she's up to 100 discs now. I know that she's been dying, and that she's
way past that. Way past that. Yeah, totally. I saw a post on her Instagram that was like, I've just done my 400th disc in just over a year. Right? Like, that's over 1 a day. I think it was, she did like 400 last year. Peregrine. Thanks. I think it was, I think she must be, Casey, if you're watching, let us know how many you're up to, because I know she tracks it. So I think she's up to, she must be closing in on 500. We'll have to get her in when she hits that milestone. Bray Marsden, yes. Hero to many, Bray Marsden. Has been a great guest. He's been on more times than I care to remember as well. He's got his own parking space.
I was going to say, I think Bray and like Leon hold the top spots with like 3 or 4 apiece.
Oh, I think it's more than 3 or 4 now, because I think Bray Marsden was 3 after the first year. And then in this year, he's been on several times as well. Enjoyed listening to Jane Watkinson, but you got to see inside the mind of a top New Zealand player and what's needed to be at the top. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's great that we're fortunate enough to have people come onto the show and want to talk through their experiences, whether they be ones of from top players playing at the very top of New Zealand's game, or whether it's people who do things that are slightly outside of playing on the course, whether it's setting up tournaments or dyeing discs or whatever it might be. Good to see. Anyway, if you've just joined us and you're wondering what we're rabbiting on about, people are naming their favorite guest, and if you put in the comments below who your favorite guest is, you could get your hands on this Captain's Raptor. It's a modified, overstable version of the regular Raptor. It's got a positive turn, which is never a good thing for me. Certainly, Brady, you've probably thrown one of these. Do they hook more than the regular?
Oh yeah, it's like 100% beefcake. I got a skip par on hole 1 at Egg Monster in a howling crosswind. So yeah, it is a perfect Wellington disc, let's say.
Excellent. So if you live in a windy place, and you want to get your hands on one of these, all you got to do is pop in the comments who your favorite guest has been over the years. Right, what are we going to go to now? Now, all of the time, pretty much all of the time that we've been doing this, the Discmania 1 in it started as 1 in 10, and then moved to 1 in 4 has been running now. And I was just looking through the archives here, and it's episode 7, 93 episodes ago, where it was launched live on the show, and we had Leon on, Leon Bottatham from NZDSS to talk about it. Then when it went from 1 in 10 down to 1 in 4, and we were actually fortunate enough to have Avery Jenkins come on. So he came on episode 53, which was about this time last year, I think, maybe a little bit later, and take us down from 10 down to 4. We're approaching the time now when the 4 will go down to potentially 1. And I say potentially because there was a little bit of confusion last week about some of the comments that were made on the show, and I just wanted to clear this up. And this also serves as a message to, I think, any kind of naysayers out there who think that this opportunity might be one which is kind of a marketing activity, or something which is just, you know, for someone to be able to make a quick buck out of, or whatever. It really isn't that. I know a lot of investment has gone in to the 10 and then the 4 to get to a point where one of them could potentially find themselves represented by Discmania and be on the Discmania team, and potentially go forward and be a touring pro. Now, there's certain things that have got to happen. We're aware that obviously New Zealand disc golf is, the standard of New Zealand disc golf is not as high as it is in the States, and the top level in New Zealand disc golf is being stretched and is being pushed and is being improved all the time. So I understand that there's particular minimums which people are looking for. But what we wanted to do today is we wanted to kind of go through and give a little bit of an idea of how are the 4 guys stacking up stats wise. Now, you might have your favorite. You'll probably have the person who you're rooting for there. But we wanted to share with you some kind of objective stats which might help in kind of making not your decision, but like that might help in your thoughts over who you think should win. All right. So look, I'm really looking forward to seeing who comes out of this. We've heard there's going to be more news about this in Christchurch at the Garden City Open, where obviously Avery Jenkins is going to be around. He's going to be able to meet the 4 people in person, and watch and see them play as well, which is going to be interesting. And then we expect that there'll be a decision one way or the other, or with some of the 4 as we go. Okay, so let's jump into it then and have a look at the where we are. So just to remind you of who was in it, if you were at all unsure, or you've got you haven't seen the show before, we had the Discmania 1 in 4. This is the 4 people that it's boiled down to. You've got Sebastian Faulkner, young guy from Christchurch, who has been very active on social media and been doing some really good stuff. You got Connor McKinstry, the champ, who recently won Egg Monster a couple of weeks back. Also took out the Fling, and he had a win the week before that as well. Maybe not the week before that. Topor as well at the Throwdown. So that was a good set of performances by him. Ashton Clark, a very good player from Christchurch again, has done a lot of commentary on Flexline Media for some of their productions. And Ben Willake, who used to be sponsored by Latitude a few years ago. Has started the year off well, I think, but maybe slowed towards the end. Right, so let's have a look at some stats. Now, this is purely based on playing, right? And we've taken events from 2022, so the beginning of 2022, January 2022, up to now, right? So it includes Egg Monster. And so we've got a number of events. Ashton's leading the way there, 13. Ben is on 8. As we've said, Ben started the year off by playing plenty of events, didn't play so many towards the end of the year. Then we got wins, and what the stats team here have done is that they've kept the wins to MPO wins only. And the reason for doing this is twofold. And so let me know if you agree or not. Brad, I'd be interested in your thoughts on this. One, the person who wins this opportunity potentially will be expected to compete in the MPO division. So we've counted those divisional wins. Secondly, many people out there might be going, yeah, but hang on, Sebastian's won like 8 of those tournaments that he's entered, and he has done it in MA1. But here's my issue with those wins and chalking them down as a win, right? And I touched on this last week, is that the environment in which Connor and Ashton have had their wins this year will have been an environment where the 3 other people on their card are competing in the same division and are competing for the win in the same way as they are at the very top, right? The issue that I've got with Sebastian is that because he hasn't competed in MPO, it makes it very difficult to compare his score against the scores of the people who are in the MPO division. So, for example, how would Connor have shot in any of the tournaments he's played this year if he was playing in MA1 and you then compared him against the people in the MPO divisions? All right. So do you see my point there? What are your thoughts on this, Brady?
Oh, geez. See, I have to go the other way. So, yes, as far as my understanding is that this is for an open contract. So the MPO division, the mixed professional open. But at the same time, as you well know, there is still plenty of competition in the MA1, and arguably those stats right in the middle. Your PDGA rating, it is you versus the course. It is not you versus your competitors. Like the idea that anyone on any day can win, and can have a hot round and like that kind of stuff. So the idea that Sebastian, for those 8 wins that he has, 7 of them being in the MA1 division, 1 of them being in the MPO division. The idea that there's still wins, and arguably he's probably those tournaments that he played at, I'm pretty sure he finished in the top 5 of overall scores. As far as I know, the MA1 division for all of those tournaments have also played the same course. So the idea of he doesn't have the wins, but the idea that to kind of discount him because they're not MPO wins, I can't do that. Okay. He has played in division. He has played well. He has a good rating. He's won events. The idea of having that pressure to, go wire to wire, to come back, all of that to win regardless of the division takes a certain mental aptitude to do. And he's shown that throughout the year. So I would not discount him.
I think saying winning despite his division suggests that there's look, Peregrine makes a great point, right? If Connor and Ashton played in the MA1 division, would they have won it? The likelihood is absolutely they would have done, right? Which would have, probably all of them. Now, what we can see here, or what I can see, because the analytics team have just forwarded it on to me, is that Sebastian would have finished 4th. At what tournament was this? He would have finished 4th at the Fling. He finished fourth overall, I should say, at the Fling. He finished fourth overall at Twizel. And he finished fifth overall at Wahitapu. Okay. Outside, and they're his top finishes. Outside of that, it's top 10. So 8th, 9th, 10th finishes, more or less consistently. After that, right? So if he was competing in the MPO division, then he would have 0 wins. And the issue I have with saying that I'd like to see him play in the MPO division, and I'd like to see him play in the MPO division because I think the environment that you play in when you're playing in that division, playing for the win, when you haven't got a 10-stroke lead on the rest of your division, is different. And I think the pressure of seeing your nearest competitor take a big putt and you've got to step up next, I think that pressure builds up over the course of rounds and costs shots. And and I think that applies to most, if not a lot of people, right? So yeah, look, anyway, there's a little asterisk by that wins because it is MPO wins. Connor, 3 MPO wins. We mentioned them earlier: Topor, Egg Monster, and the Fling. Ashton's win. Can you remember where Ashton got his win?
It was Nelson, Paul Macbeth fundraiser.
That's right. It was the Paul Macbeth fundraiser in Nelson. And Ben Willake with no wins. In terms of the ratings, what we've said is that you had started the year, Sebastian, a bit lower than the rest of them at 933 to 970, 960, and 970, respectively. But then he's jumped up. So jumped up 23 ratings points in a year, which, to be fair, that's pretty good. That's pretty good to jump 23 ratings points. Doesn't really matter where you are on the rating system. But certainly when you're already in the mid 900s, to jump 23 rating points in a year is pretty good. Connor has crept up to 981. He's knocking on the door of 990 and 1,000. And Ashton's had a small rise. Ben's had a small drop. And next one, 1,000 rated rounds. I know we make a little bit of a thing about this on the show, and maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. But this is 1,000 rated rounds in 2022 until now. Sebastian with 3, Connor with 4, Ashton and Ben with 1 each. And then their current ranking. So this is where they are on the Sweet Chain Power Rankings. Sebastian's currently 12th. Connor is currently 4th. He moved up to 4th following his win at Egg Monster. Ashton and Ben also taking places 14th and 11th. Any thoughts there, Brady, on the stats? What does it tell us, do you think, on the players play this year?
Well, I mean, like, to me, Connor's in front by a country mile, in, like, my opinion, when it comes to, like, the stats. But as was the example when the 1 in 10 went to 1 in 4, stats aren't everything. And so, the idea that there's more at play than just stats. And so, like, the idea of that's why I can't count out those wins for Sebastian, and he also has a great, like, trick shot social media presence, a very much a, like, Wunderkinder, a Simon Lizotte, like, kind of cult following for New Zealand. So, like, you can't count that out. Ben has a personal relationship and has, like, met Avery in the past. Like, you can't necessarily, like, count that out. Ashton is a Christchurch local. The idea that, like, he might have good connections with Leon also can't be overlooked. So as much as, like, these are numbers on a piece of paper, and there are some people who have numbers that are higher than others or lower in the right spots, I can't count out any one of the 4 when it comes to, like, making it to this next stage. I wish I could. I wish, like, it was more transparent in, like, what their criteria are. the idea that when Discmania does combines in the States, you like earn points throughout the combine when it comes to like what's your driving ability, what's your putting ability, what's your approach ability, like how far can you throw. All of those like add up to, you know, like very much in like an American stats kind of way of like, sweet, whoever has the highest number combined score like goes on and like gets a contract or, you know, like gets a nudge. But, you know, like that transparency hasn't been here. So yeah, the idea of anyone, in my opinion, anyone has a shot. You know, like if it was me personally and like I was going to be sponsoring a player, I would probably lean towards like Kana, you know, like when it comes to play, or maybe Sebastian when it comes to social media. But honestly, like Ashton and Ben are both great guys. They're both great players. And, you know, like all of them deserve this shot. And I think all of them have done a good job about representing themselves and Discmania for the past 12 months.
So look, I think that it's going to be, it's ultimately Avery's decision in what's going to go here. And I think that Leon's made it clear on his comment here about the level of input he has for who gets chosen. So my understanding is that it's Avery's decision, and that decision may well come down to after he's had a chance to meet the players in Christchurch in a couple of weeks' time. And so, yeah, look, I think it's going to be. And what have we got here? Yeah, look, Peregrine makes a good point, right? He makes a good point that it's basically what flavor of player do you want the nationwide top 5 to win tournaments? It's a I think it's a bit of both, and it's going to come down to Avery making a decision based on all of those different things. Obviously, you want a top player. You want a player who's going to be able to compete, who's going to be able to put their hand up and get noticed. But you also want a player that when they put their hand up and get noticed, actually gets noticed, right? And is able to sort of garner a following or an audience that will keep people engaged. Talking of followings, let's just have a quick look at their social media. So first up, we'll jump into Sebastian. So this is Sebastian's Instagram page. Let me see if I can make that a bit better. There we go. He's got 102 posts, 1,300 and 1,366 followers, which is incredible, which is very good. And if we have a look through the posts, you know, they just keep going on and on and on, and they refresh when you get down to the bottom. So yeah, they just keep going. He pumps out content, and some of it's pretty fun. I don't know if you've seen many of his trick shot videos that he does.
I have followed him since the 1 in 10. You know, like pretty much when it comes to anyone who's a disc golf influencer at all, I most likely follow them on all of their social channels. So yes, I typically see his posts twice. I'll see it once on Instagram, and then I'll see it probably the next day on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did like that air bounce one he did in the crosswind. That was pretty good. I thought that was quite impressive. It's hard enough putting straight at a basket, let alone going under a pole on 2 chairs. Did you see that one?
I did. There's been some absolutely incredible ones that he's put together. Yeah. So it's been
and the skip ace at Jelly is another one of my favorites too.
That's the one that comes to mind actually. In fact, is that this one here?
I think he spent 2 or 3 days trying to hit this one.
Oh no, that's not the skip ace.
No, that's just a Simon.
Yeah.
The twirl. He's like, yeah, just another day at Jelly. Don't need anything more than a putter.
So yeah.
This was the like, what putter are you using? And he's using length.
So there we go. Very fun, very good to see, and a huge following. 1,366 people is nothing to be sniffed at. That's
yeah. I was gonna say, I think he of New Zealand players, he's got the second highest following. Yeah, from what I know.
Yeah. Excellent. Just for anybody who's just joined us and you want to get your hands on one of these Captain's, I want to say Captain's Rasper No, that's wrong. It's a captain's raptor. Then pop down into the comments who your favorite guest was. Maybe it was Sebastian. We had Sebastian on the show a couple of months ago now. And so, yeah, if you want to get your hands on the Paul Ulibarri Raptor, then pop into the comments who your favorite player, who your favorite guest has been this year. Right, let's have a look at who else. Someone else who's been fairly active on their social channels is Ashton. 620 followers, not bad. He's gone for the initial logo. Do you know what I mean? Like the AC in a shape.
Yeah.
You know how if you become a pro disc golfer, I swear that's in like every single pro disc golfer's contract. You have to have a logo that's your initials that are kind of uses negative space and are kind of put together somehow to make it look like a logo. That's basically what you have to do if you're a disc golfer. If you can name any disc golfer who doesn't have that, then
I can name two.
What out of all disc golfers exactly? So it's
three.
Yeah,
I'm just like off the top of my head. So you got Big Germ, who's Big Germ and not Jeremy Collings, so no JK. You also have the Practice Prince if we're going with him. The idea of you also have Robot Chicken and Chris Dickerson. You also have Zach Melton, which is just a picture of his face.
But that's not my point, right? My point.
You said that like nobody does, everyone does that. No one does something unique. I just gave you 3 examples off the top of my head.
All right.
People doing things differently.
What I'm saying is, it's a very popular thing to do, and it's a very kind of done thing. Is all I'm saying. It's one of the only ones in New Zealand that I've seen. Bear Heart, actually. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's one of my favorite logos. Brian Earhart for Discraft.
Yeah, because it's different, right? It's there's been some kind of how can I stand out kind of thing about this. But anyway, back to Ashton. Lots of posts about what he's been doing. What's interesting is that he's always got Discmania in the picture. Do you know what I mean? Most of the time, he's got the branding right. This might have been. This is back in the 1 in 10 days, I think.
Yeah, that's back in the 1 in 10 days. I'm like, I'm in some of those photos.
Looking young there. He's put on the years since that was taken. But anyway, so several posts, 627 followers, pretty active. So yeah, that's good to see. Where are we going to go to now? Let's have a look at Ben.
Oh, are you going to his disc golf page or his personal page?
No, so this is his disc golf page, right? So I've stuck to disc golf pages because I don't want people to be confused over people's personal pages, which is different, right? Because if you happen to know a lot of people or you're older, then arguably you've met more people, so would have potentially a larger amount of friends than someone who might be younger. So anyway, this is Ben's page. This is his disc golf page. 327 followers, 17 posts, so a little bit fewer posts than the others. And Paradise Plates, that was 2021, so that's over a year ago. Actually, Paradise was when? May? Was Paradise in May? June?
Yeah. And that Tilt and Mutant post would have been from the 1 in 10 because I have that same post basically just with 2 yellow ones.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so a little bit less activity on Ben's page. And then we'll head over to Connor. Connor, what are you doing? Need to post some more. Need to post some more. There's some great stuff happening in Taranaki and that you're doing and you're playing. So I'd love to see.
To be fair, Taranaki does have an active Facebook page, so the Taranaki Disc Golf Club. And the idea of leading up to Egg Monster, Kana was in every video of every hole playing using Discmania discs when it came to previewing the event. So I know, yes, if we're basing this off Instagram.
Yeah. No, I get it. And it's one platform. Asterisk by the thing. It's it's one platform. But yeah. Excellent. Right, so look, there's plenty to go on. I don't envy Avery actually for having to make the decision.
Well, I was gonna say you have a team, Matt. Who would you sponsor? So if Discmania doesn't pick someone up and you got a chance to put them on Team Sweet Chain, who are we picking up this year?
That's a good point. Actually, there'll be potentially free people, who maybe won't have a team soon, and so Team Sweet Chain could be open for business. Look. Look, they've all got things going for them in terms of in terms of what could get them the deal, right? Whether it's a healthy social media following, whether it's solid top level play, whether it's a bit of both, which I think Ashton does quite well. He's also been getting himself into the flex line commentary, which again is getting himself and his brand out there. Or whether it's a history of people who have of being sponsored in the past. I think that they've each got stuff that they're bringing, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I can't wait for the announcement. It's not going to be long now. I actually can't wait for the Garden City Open. It's now 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. This time in 2 weeks' time, we shall be broadcasting live from Christchurch, actually, in our first ever away broadcast. If that makes sense. That's not done in Wellington. We'll be previewing the event. We'll have predictions and odds and everything else, and we'll have interviews with a lot of the top players. So yes, stand by for that. Just while we're on it, we've got a couple of minutes left. If you want to get your hands on a Captain's Raptor, then pop in the comments below if you who your favorite guest is or has been, on the show. Let me just check that I've got everybody so far. I think I do. Yeah, excellent. So, Brady, let's go to upcoming events.
Way to avoid the question, Matt.
Look. If it was me,
yep, it's you.
If it was me, I'd take Connor. There you go, done.
Yeah, boy.
You wanted an answer. There's your answer.
Maine.
So Connor, if it doesn't go well over the next couple of weeks,
you got 2 Sweet Chain votes, Connor. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Ben, Ashton, Sebastian, if you're listening, I love you guys too. It was great to be part of the 1 in 10. Connor's got my vote this year. Though honestly, any one of you, feel free. Our door is always open. Our phones are always on, regardless of how the decision goes. Stay in touch. Stay awesome. Keep playing.
Right. Let's get on to upcoming events. That's what we're going to do. We've got a few events that are coming up. We've got Makaripi this weekend, which is the very first one. Hang on a second. I've lost where I am. And then, Brady, do you know what it is next weekend?
It's not Garden City. It's down south. It's Islander.
It's Islander. Exactly right. Yeah. So I don't know if you saw some of the photos that were posted earlier on about some of the course maintenance that's been going on down at Iceland. Obviously, it's played on in a scout camp that doesn't hold a disc golf course permanently, and so a lot of the landscaping and stuff has to be done prior to the event in order to make the course playable. And they do a great job down in there in Dunedin. I think there's still places. I think Tom's still accepting places for a few days now. So if you want to get involved in that, then please do, because they put on an absolutely great show down in Dunedin. If you get a chance to camp over in the event, then you'll have a great time. It's a good vibe in the evenings. So yeah, excellent. So we've got Macaripi, we've got Wellington Centurion. This is happening on Monday. It's going to be we're looking forward to it. We've got our car sorted. It's going to be myself, yourself, Brett Carlisle, and Jung Ha, who are going to be trying to tear it up. And it's number of birdies that wins. Keep a lookout on our Instagram and Facebook pages on the morning of the event. So this is Monday. For all of you non-Wellingtonians who have to go to work on Monday, we'll be playing disc golf all day. But never fear, you'll be able to follow the results as we go through. We have a UDisc scorecard and event, which is all 101 holes and all the players who are playing. I think we've got 7 cars of people. So that's like nearly 30 players who are going to be playing on Monday, slogging it out for 101 holes. I'll tell you, by the time you get to Berhampore and you've hit hole 81 or 82 is the first hole at Berhampore, it's a slog up some of those hills, I tell you. But it's well worth it.
No way, I'm licking my chops. That's birdie country, man. Them hills, dude.
It is for you. I need to do a lot of my work prior to that. I'll personally be looking forward to playing Wainui, which makes its debut in this year's Centurion. So we'll be playing 2 rounds at the Poole Crescent Reserve. Shout out to Dion Rawadi, who put the course together there in Wainuiomata. It's a fantastic little course. Homemade baskets. You tee from where people know the tee to be. It's a nice little fun place to have a couple of rounds of disc golf in a lovely setting. And I think it's got that kind of feel to it, that it's the kind of place you'd go if you weren't playing disc golf. And I think that's what some of the best disc golf parks have in common, is that they're just nice places to be if you're not playing disc golf. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, Hardcore Park's a fantastic example of that. It's a lovely place to go, even if you're not playing disc golf. And there's plenty of parks throughout the country that are very similar. But looking personally, that's going to be my favorite. And it's number of birdies that wins, right? So we'll be running everything. So there's going to be plenty of birdies and bogeys, I'm sure, on the day. But, that won't matter. It's the amount of blue that you've got on your scorecard that's going to be what takes it away at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely thinking that, Wainui is going to make or break some cars. And then, that long day, a little bit extra time in the car up and over that hill. Yeah, Berhampore is going to eat some people, but also Hardcore Park. I think, you at the end of the day, you're tired. You're going to be playing Hardcore Park for those people who start in town, and those easy birdies, you think, oh, I'll get this every day of the week. And it just slips away from you, that you leave that drive short, you juice it a little bit too long. It's going to be a great day. I love it every year. I'm super happy that, we came up with this concept 2 years ago of 100 holes in one day. Like you, me, Jack, and Troy. I remember that first year, just the 4 of us going out and playing.
Yeah. That was good fun. But it's now grown into some monster, which, now I'm trying to sort of corral 28 people to go to the right courses at about the right times. It's like herding cats. But anyway, we shall get there in the end, I'm sure. Anyway, Heisender is the weekend after that. So that's the 28th, 29th of January. Then it's the first of the big ones down south in Christchurch for the Garden City Open. We'll be looking forward to that. As we've said before, we'll have shows on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights of the Garden City Open as we preview and review the day's play, and we'll have interviews with all of the movers and shakers and people who are doing good stuff. Brady, I know you've got some goals for yourself going into that tournament, as have I, and we'll be sharing those a little bit closer to time. We've got the Queenstown Classic, which is sandwiched in between. But as I was told, actually, if anyone's looking on taking a vacation and doing Queenstown Classic followed by Nationals the following weekend, that's a lovely little road trip / week away, if you can wangle it. And
are you going van life again on us, Matt?
Oh, I wish I was. I really wish I was, but no. I've got got the majors which are preventing that. Else, that would have been, if the majors weren't as they were, then that would have been a fantastic little roadie to fly into Queenstown, then take my time driving to Invercargill in the week in between, ready for the smash. Then we got Topor, Paradise Plates, and Brook Park Brave take us through to April. When we have a look at the rankings haven't changed since last week. So these changes are after Egg Monster. Conor McKinstry moved up one space. He's in 4th place. Not really much to say. We covered it kind of last week. I think looking at that list, is there who isn't playing Christchurch in that top 20?
Is Cambridge coming?
Ryan Cambridge, I would have thought so, but I don't know. Let me.
Yeah, so like Ryan Cambridge, Jasper Vandermeer, Mark Duckieve, and like Tom McKay might be the only ones. I know Blair won't be coming. He's been dealing with an injury as of late. He tends to play North Island events. Popham should be there. Brennan, I don't know. Will he be coming down? And Willie T's been real quiet actually as of late. So I know that he's got his 2 boys that keep him, full. So yeah, there's a few players that might not be there.
So Ryan Cambridge is playing. Willie Taratna's playing.
Perfect.
Who else did we say?
Jasper, Mark Duckieve.
So Mark is not playing, but Jasper is based in Christchurch. Okay. Yeah, so that's so one player out of the top 10, and all of the top 9 will be playing, and then outside of that, Tom McKay I would have thought would be there. He might be in the MP40 division.
Well, yeah, and I know he takes off like the week before Heislander because there's so much work on that course. Like, massive shout out if you're in Dunedin or you have any chance to go support Heislander, please do. Tom McKay and the rest of the Dunedin crew, the Switzerland, I guess, of New Zealand disc golf down there. They got great things going. The Heislander is their marquee event. Please go support. Great course, great club, wonderful event to be a part of if you can make it.
Yeah, I went last year and had an absolute blast. It was great fun. Right. So we've done that. Now, just the last thing to say is next week, episode 101, we will be talking about a new thing that's coming out that I'm so happy to be able to launch, because I hinted at this before Christmas. And I didn't know if it was going to be possible to get it kind of up and running, but I'm so glad that we've managed to get it up and running in time for major season. So big shout out to the web development and to the technology team here at Sweet Chain Music. They've done an absolutely sterling job in getting us up to speed on this. Now, so here it is. Every week, Brady and I give our tips on who we think is going to play well, who at tournaments, who we think is going to win, who we think is going to take it out. For example, Rotorua this weekend. Who do we think is going to take out the division at Rotorua, Brady?
I mean, number 1 on power rankings, isn't Mr. RPM Jackson Sullivan going down?
He will be there. Yes. Let me just put the
Isn't he at like a 1-to-1? I presume like you wouldn't actually make any money on him. He's that much of a favorite. He's like Sebastian in the MA1 division.
So look, Jackson Sullivan is the favorite at 1.3. So if you bet $100, then you'll get $30 back plus your stake. So yeah, Simon Feasey is at 4.4 and Mark Duckieve is at 8.8 to take out the weekend's division. Everybody else is longer odds than that, but it's quite a little tight, pretty competitive. I would say outside of probably the top 3 or 4, that's a pretty tight division,
well, like, and honestly, like, Jimmy can always put some good rounds together. He's won events in the past and he can get hot. Same with Mario. Mario's kind of like that sleeper pick. And honestly, even Joel's been doing a lot of work in Linkletter. He's kind of my dark horse for the weekend. I'd love to see him put together some good rounds. But the longer course and the low ceilings might catch Joel, so we'll see.
Anyway, well, we talk every week about who we think's going to win, and you're probably sat there. You might be sat there going, "Nah, they've got that completely wrong. You don't know anything." And I think this person's going to win. Well, Sweet Chain tipping is coming. So next week we'll have more information about how you can be involved in Sweet Chain tipping and the competition around tipping and betting on the best or the results of tournaments. Now, the way that it's set up is it's not just going to be pick the winner of the MPO. We'll have lots of divisions represented, and we'll even have mid-tournament. What's the best round tomorrow going to be? Over or unders, that kind of thing. It's a little bit of fun. There's no monetary. There's no payment required. It's just a bit of fun to see who knows New Zealand disc golf the best, who can tip the winners of respective divisions and competitions, and the results. Going to be a lot of fun, Brady. I know that you've seen a preview of it so far, as have most of Team Sweet Chain and a select few other people who we've been doing some testing with. Have seen it, and we're going to be doing some more testing over the weekend with Rotorua, and then next week when we launch, you'll be able to tip on Heislander and who you think is going to take out Heislander at down in Dunedin, and then obviously we'll have it all set up for the Garden City Open when that comes along as well. So look, even if you're not a betting man or a betting lady, then it's something that you can get involved in, and you can have a bit of fun with it. You get virtual currency. It doesn't cost you any money. You never run out because you've got a little daily loot box you can go in and collect if you're so inclined. So you'll always have some coin there to chuck behind your favorite player. You never know if they win. Who knows? We'll try and run some tournaments with it, so we can see who's the best over a period of time, and there'll be perhaps some more giveaways and some more prizes up for grabs as well. But anyway, more details on that next week. There is one final thing that we need to do for today, and that's to decide
spin the wheel.
The captain's raptor. Now, I think I've got everybody in who said that they wanted to be in. Let's just have a quick look.
Wait, am I allowed to comment? Can I go in? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there we are. Right. Here we go. So I think that's everybody's name. Is that everyone's name? Looks like it. You can't see that. I can. There we are. I think that's everybody's name. If you have entered, but your name isn't on that list,
do you want to scroll down for a second so that they can see the bottom of the list?
Sorry, yeah, I will. But you can also see it spinning on the wheel. But yes, there's the names.
Dude, I can't rotate my computer that fast to read those names on the wheel.
Aren't you sat on a spinning desk as it is?
Yes,
right. If you still want to enter, you've got about 30 seconds before I click the button. So put in who's your favorite guest has been in the whole time we've been running this. 100 episodes, probably close to about 100 guests actually, because some of the episodes we've had like 6 people on. So it probably evens itself out in the end. But yes, right. No more comments. Right, that's your lot. Let's spin the wheel, see who wins this. Look, if you're gonna be, we've got one more. All right, tough one. You got in just in time. But you're the last one. All right. Let me put you in. Right, there we go. Now, if you're going to be in Christchurch, I shall give this disc to you in Christchurch. All right. I'm not going to ship it if there's no point. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks anyway. So if you're going to be if you're based in Wellington, I'll give it to you next time I see you. Otherwise, most people, a lot of people will be in Christchurch, or I shall give it to somebody who lives in the same town as you, who I see in Christchurch. So be on the lookout. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Enough faffing around. Who's going to win? Where's it going to stop? It's going to stop on Wayne Brown.
Let's go.
Congratulations, Wayne. You have won yourself this Captain's Raptor. And let's just see if we can find out who his favorite guest was. There he is, Scott Stokely and Casey Brown. Oh, I wonder why Casey Brown was
I expect a really sick die on this disc when he gets it.
It could be a tough one to die, I have to say, but I don't know. Casey can do some pretty cool stuff.
If anyone can do it, Casey can do it. And I've seen some epic dies in Wayne's bag. Have you seen the dies? Okay. Like the Wraith that she did for him, that's the Reaper on the top, is incredible. He aced with it in like Brockville, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, look, it's premium plastic, so it's good. It will take the die well. And maybe like, I don't know about the stamp. That might be a pain to get off. But anyway, Casey knows what she's doing. So Wayne, this will be coming to you. If you're playing in Christchurch, I shall see you in Christchurch. Otherwise, I shall give it to somebody who lives in Dunedin, and they'll get it down to you. All right. So congratulations to Wayne. Yeah, so that's it for us this week. Wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.